Good day everyone, we are C6 from EPPE1033 Development of Economic Thought. Our presentation today is about Adam Smith's The Wealth of Nations. Focusing on the subtopic, how did Adam Smith's idea of the invisible hand shape modern capitalism? My name is Liu Yixi and my partner name is Li Yuzhou. Let's begin.
Hello everyone, my name is Liu Yuzhou and my metric number is 8206808. And I will introduce the 9 parts we will talk about. Those are the introduction of Adam Smith, the invisible hands, the laissez-faire and mercantilism, rule of government, economic laws, division of labor, influence on modern capitalism, criticisms and limitations, and reflection and conclusion.
Adam Smith, born in 1723 in Scotland, is often known as the father of economics. He wrote 2 important works, The Theory of Moral Sentiments in 1759 and The Wealth of Nations in 1776. His ideas connected human morality with economics, showing that self-interest and social welfare are not always in conflict. As he once said, no society can surely be flourishing and happy, of which the far greater part of the members are poor and miserable. This reflects that Smith cared not only about wealth, but also about fairness in society. One of Smith's most famous contributions is the idea of the invisible hand. He agreed that when individuals pursue their own self-interest, they unintentionally benefit society as a whole. For instance, a baker makes bread to earn income, not to feed others, but as a result, society gains access to food. Smith describes this process as if it were guided by an invisible hand. Incense, process, and competition serve as signals that guide resource efficiently in the economy. Based on the invisible hand, Smith promoted laissez-faire, meaning limited government interference. He attracted mercantilism, a system where governments granted privileges and restricted trade. Let me show you comparison. Mercantilism emphasized government control, monopolies, and wealth measured by gold and silver. Smith's free market emphasized competition, efficiency, and wealth through productive labor and trade. Interestingly, he also warned that when businessmen gather, it often ends in comparisons to rise prices. This shows he was realistic, supporting free markets, but cautious of abuse. Although Smith believed in free markets, he did not completely reject government. He identified 3 important functions. First, defense, to protect society from foreign threats. Second, justice, to enforce contracts, regulate currencies, and ensure fair taxes. Third, public works, such as roads, schools, and infrastructures that private business cannot profitably provide. For example, Malaysia North-South Expressway and America's interstate highway system both show the importance of government investment in infrastructures. These ideas connect strongly to today's concept of public goods.
Now I will continue with Smith's economic laws. He distinguished between value in use, which is the usefulness of an object, and value in exchange, which is its purchasing power. He also proposed the labor theory of value, where labor is the real measure of value. Smith explained the difference between natural price and market price. Natural price is the long-run cost of production, where market price fluctuate in the short run due to the supply and demand. For example, the price of wheat may rise sharply during a drought, but in the long run it returns close to its natural price. Another major contribution is the division of labor. Smith showed that specialization improves productivity because workers become more skilled at specific tasks. However, he also noted that the extent of division of labor is limited by the size of the market. A famous example is his pin factory illustration, where 10 workers could produce thousands of pins every per day if each specialized in one step. In today's world, this principle can be seen in global supply chains such as the iPhone, where components are produced in different countries and assembled everywhere. This demonstrates how Smith's idea still shapes modern production. Smith's idea became the foundation of modern capitalism. The invisible hand supported the rise of free market economies. His work inspired the liberalization, privatization, and globalization policies. Global institutions like the WTO, World Bank, and IMF are built on free trade principles. For example, after World War II, countries that opened their economies to global trade experienced faster growth. Different countries interpret Smith differently. The United States emphasized the free market under Reaganomics, while Nordic countries combine free markets with strong welfare systems. This shows the wide influence of his ideas. Of course, Smith's invisible hand has limitations. It assumes perfect computation, but in reality, markets often fall. We see problems like monopolies, externalities such as pollution, and rising inequality. The 2008 financial crisis showed the danger of excessive deregulation. Economist John Maynard Keynes famously argued, "In the long run, we are all dead," stressing that governments must intervene to stabilize the economy. So while Smith's invisible hand is powerful, it cannot solve every challenge in modern economies. Smith's invisible hand is still relevant today. It helps us understand how markets coordinate and why capitalism became the dominant system. But modern challenges such as climate change and financial crisis remind us that markets need the visible hand of government too.
In conclusion, Adam Smith gave us the language of economics, self-interest, division of labor, free trade, and of course the invisible hand. These ideas shaped modern capitalism and continue to influence the world. That's all. Thank you for listening.